Hello, and welcome to this presentation of Kili Technology. In this presentation, I'm going to take you through the end-to-end process of creating a dataset and plugging your annotation project on it. On the dataset page, I'm going to create my dataset, which will be the repository of my data. I'm going to choose a data type. Kili Technology is a very versatile tool which will allow you to handle many types of data such as audio, frame, images, PDF, text, and video. Here, we're interested in images. Now I'm going to add data from my local computer. Once my dataset is created, I can see on this page ways to handle my data, either by adding new data or delete data. Now the next step is to plug a project on it. Here, I'm going to go to my project, go to my dataset page, and add new data. On this page, I have the possibility to aggregate multiple datasets between them, thus having a level of abstraction giving me a lot of freedom in how to manage and create my new training projects. I can either choose my entire dataset, or I can go into my dataset to select the sample of data in which I am interested in. Now that I have added data to my dataset, the next step is going to be to create my team of annotators. I'm going to go to my settings, into the members, and now I can start adding labels. In order to enable collaboration in Kili, we've created many roles allowing you to scope the action of your teams within a project. You have role for administration, labeling, reviewing, and reader. A labeler is the basic role of the annotator. He will only be able to access the annotation platform to label assets. The reviewer has the role of quality control. He will be able to access an interface called the review, allowing him to review the label made by all the other labelers. And we will go into further detail in the following of this presentation. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add instructions to my project in order to help my annotators label my data. They will be able to access those instructions from the labeling interface. Next, I am going to set the quality parameters of my project. Quality is key when labeling data because it has a direct impact on the performance of your model. That is why we included 3 parameters to allow you to track and monitor quality all along the life cycle of your project. The first parameter is a review parameter, which allows you to decide which percentage of your datasets you want to send to the review for the annotation to be controlled by reviewers. At the beginning of your project, you might want to set it to 100% to have a high control over the first annotation made by your labeler. Further on, when your labeler gain quality in their task, you will be able to reduce that number. The other 2 parameters that we allow you to track in Kili are quality metrics. First, we have the consensus. The consensus allows you to give the same image at multiple labelers and to compare the annotation of those labelers on that same image, thus obtaining a consensus score. The next quality metric that we allow you to track in Kili is the honeypot. The honeypot allows you to compare the annotation of a labeler with the ground truth that you would have put into the application. Comparing the ground truth and the annotator, we are able to give a score to the annotator. Now that I have set my team and my quality metrics, I can go to create the interface which will be used to make the annotation. So in this task, we want to do a simple task of detecting boxes on conveyor belts. And to do so, we will use one of our smart tools to speed up the annotation, which is called the interactive segmentation tool. Now that my project is set up, I'm going to switch to my annotators account in order to proceed to the annotation. I am now on my annotators account, and I'm going to access the project. By clicking on Start Labeling, I can access my assets. Here I have the asset in the middle, and on the right I have my tool to label my asset. Here I use a segmentation tool, allowing me to draw the boundaries of my objects. As we can see, this process can be quite time-consuming, and that's why in Kili we decided to incorporate smart tools such as interactive segmentation. Using this tool, I am going to be able to label in a single click most of the occurrences of the boxes. Speeding up drastically the annotation. When mistakes are made, I can put negative points to tell the algorithms to rethink the shape. I can now submit my asset and keep going. Here. Using the interactive segmentation tool is really powerful to label different occurrences of objects. I have now labeled all the assets of my project, and I'm now going to go to my admin account in order to start controlling the quality of this annotation. I'm now back on my admin account, and as we said earlier, monitoring quality is key when launching a labeling project. In order to guarantee a high level of quality, you need to have multiple people collaborating on the project. And those persons are usually from different populations. What we did to enable collaboration within Kili is we created another interface called the review, made for experts in the task to monitor the annotation made by the labeler. On this interface, you can see that I can visualize the annotation made by my labeler, and I'm going to be able to modify it in order to increase its quality, for example. But of course, giving the possibility to modify and validate annotation is not enough. So on this asset, I'm going to review the asset. But on the next one, we want to increase the collaboration. And this is why we added a Q&A process where labeler and reviewer are going to be able to exchange. So here I'm going to create what we call an issue, indicating that there are missing boxes at the end of the bait. I'm going to create that comment, and I will be able to send the asset back to the queue with this comment for it to be corrected. And if I want to add further precision, I can even click on annotation and create an issue at the annotation level, explaining that not thus allowing a really granular way of collaborating with my annotators. Now that I've created my issue as a reviewer, I'm going to send the asset back to the queue, and I will now see you on my labeler account. I am now back on my labeler account. My asset has been sent back to queue, and so if I click on Start Labeling, I will access my asset with the issues made by the reviewer. I can now answer those issues to create a discussion, allowing me to communicate with the reviewer, and I can visualize where the issue has been. So by selecting this box, I can now modify it in order for it to match the quality criteria expected by the reviewer. Once I have fixed my annotation, I can resubmit my asset so that it will be resent to the review for it to be corrected. This Q&A process is what will allow reviewer and labeler to collaborate efficiently on the project. Once your dataset has been labeled, you can keep improving your model accuracy by curating it from labeling errors and understanding its composition. To do so, we introduce filters in Kili, allowing you to slice your dataset on using multiple filters. Mainly, you can use your quality metrics in order to find outliers and quickly correct their labels. We also allow you to use a model to create inferences in Kili and compare the prediction of your model with the label done by the annotator. Using this comparison, you will be able to understand on which population of your dataset does your model underperform. Quickly understanding those subsamples of your dataset will allow you to know which data to acquire to improve your dataset and retrain your model, thus improving drastically its performance. To end this demo, I will make an export of my dataset. While exporting my dataset, this will create a version of it. This version is a permanent image of the dataset and the metadata and annotations associated to it, which will be accessible in the future. This versioning feature in Kili allows you to confidently backtest your models before putting them into production. I hope you enjoyed this discovery of Kili technology. Thank you and goodbye.